slip a little bit further, the president's statement, probably closer to 11:10 p.m. or even 11:15 p.m. Eastern. They're working on the final statement. They're making sure that all of the various contacts have been made. So we're now speculating maybe another 10 or 15 minutes from now, we'll hear directly from the president in the East Room of the White House. The network pool cameras are there. They are ready to go. The president will be ready to go shortly. He will formally make the dramatic announcement that Osama bin Laden is dead, confirmed dead. The U.S. has the body. That's the picture from the East Room of the White House. You'll see the president announce. We just lost that picture, but we will regain that picture. The president will walk in up to that podium and make the announcement and go into some detail, giving all of us some perspective on how this occurred, when it occurred, what it means. John, I'm also being told that as a precaution, a prudent precaution, U.S. military, national security, intelligence officials are taking steps right now in case bin Laden or al-Qaeda supporters plot or plan some sort of immediate retaliation.
You would expect that based on the playbook since 9/11, and you would expect that based on the significance, the monumental significance of this announcement. Osama bin Laden is dead. The president is moments away from delivering that address to the American people. We're told he's making phone calls. Also, his senior staff is making phone calls, not only to key members of the United States Congress and key members of the United States national security apparatus, but also to key leaders around the world as well. When the president makes that statement, yes, U.S. military installations, U.S. diplomatic installations, other global installations have been placed on an elevated state of alert just in case there is a backlash. Wolf, we are also told, and I'm told that Osama bin Laden was killed based on actionable U.S. intelligence by a U.S. asset. I've been unable to confirm exactly what that means. Normally, by a U.S. asset means that that's some sort of a drone or an unmanned predator operation around the world. I do not have direct confirmation of the specific military instrument yet, but I am told by two very good sources, one in the administration, one someone in Congress who has been briefed, that Osama bin Laden, the president will announce, has been killed. And these sources tell us has been killed based on actionable U.S. intelligence, which Fran Townsend and others can tell you is detailed U.S. intelligence that reaches the threshold of taking the extraordinary step of then authorizing a U.S. military strike or a CIA drone, some of that effect, a predator drone strike against a location. Always a risk of civilian casualties, civilian fatalities in such a case, so the actionable intelligence has to be of crystal clarity. To do that, I'm told that actionable U.S. intelligence led to this strike that, in the end, the president will announce just moments from now, led to the death of Osama bin Laden, and the United States will say it has confirmed that it is indeed Osama bin Laden, the mastermind of 9/11.
And our senior White House correspondent, Ed Henry, John, is getting more details. Now, what else are you getting, Ed?
Perfectly on what John was just saying about a U.S. asset being used there. Can you not hear me, Wolf?
Yeah, I hear you now. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Wolf? Okay, now, following what John said about a U.S. military asset being involved here, I'm now told by a senior U.S. official telling CNN that Osama bin Laden was killed by a U.S. military asset, as John said, but specifically new information in a mansion, pardon me, outside Islamabad, Pakistan, along with other family members. So other members of bin Laden's family were with him in this mansion outside Islamabad when he was killed. Significant, of course, because we've suspected for years there's been intelligence suggesting that bin Laden was moving from cave to cave, was in hiding. This suggests perhaps he may have been hiding, obviously, but he was somewhere more out in the open than in a cave somewhere, number one. Number two, following on what you're talking about, the threats, I'm told by a senior Republican official that early this morning, military bases around the world, U.S. military bases, were told to go to a much higher threat level because of a viable threat. Obviously, once the U.S. knew that bin Laden was dead, they thought that the reaction, once that spread around the Mideast, could result in attacks against U.S. military bases. Our colleague Barbara Starr reporting as well that U.S. defense assets worldwide were escalated to Bravo force protection, extremely high levels to prepare for the president's announcement here, Wolf.
All right, so this is significant that bin Laden was killed in a mansion outside of Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan, not in some sort of tribal remote areas along the border with Afghanistan, but near Islamabad in Pakistan. We are told, we believe bin Laden's body has now been moved to Afghanistan, but we're not 100% sure of that. But he was killed in a mansion outside of the Pakistani capital of Islamabad. That it sounds to me like a CIA operation when they speak of assets. That doesn't necessarily mean military forces or anything like that. It could be a local CIA asset who went out and killed him, but we're going to get all those details pretty soon. Nick Robertson is joining us from the United Kingdom right now. Nick, you were in Afghanistan on 9/11 almost 10 years ago, and the world is now only beginning to learn that the United States, in some sort of coordinated operation, whether with the assistance of others or not, the United States has confirmed that bin Laden is dead. Go ahead and weigh in.
If it proves, as we are beginning to understand, that his killing has taken place in Pakistan, that he's been hiding in Pakistan, close to the capital of Pakistan, Islamabad, this is also going to have is going to make our relations with Pakistan even more frayed and even more difficult. It would not be difficult to imagine either that there would be some sort of protest and backlash on the streets there of Islamabad, but this has been exactly the concern of Western officials, that bin Laden has effectively been hiding in plain sight, if you will, that he has been across the border inside Pakistan, that he has been hiding not in the remote border areas, but close to one of these major cities. And if indeed it is true that it is Islamabad, then this is going to strain U.S., Pakistani-European relations. It's also going to put a huge strain on the government of Pakistan. This has been one of the most difficult and thorniest of issues for them, to deal with the fact what happens if bin Laden is arrested or killed on their soil, because it's going to immediately show that he has been hiding there, that despite their claims that they have been trying their best to capture him, that there are holes in their intelligence operations that they've been unaware of, and that he has indeed been able to sort of duck out of sight there. The immediate implications for Al-Qaeda worldwide, it is unlikely to kill off Al-Qaeda